The following movie is rated R.
Thank you for stopping by Mortis G's RPGs. Be sure to like, share, and comment before you go. Tonight, we're playing Coriolis, Dark Flowers by Free League Publishing. We hope you enjoy the show. I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get started because while this is a kind of a one-shot, it could probably last for two if depending on how you guys go about things. Fantastic. Okay, so tonight we're playing Coriolis by Free League. Just want to take a minute to thank Free League again for sponsoring us with their complete collection of RPGs. I was taken aback. I didn't expect them to be quite so gracious. So I'm looking forward to trying all the different settings that they have for the Year Zero engine. And then they've got a couple in there that they threw in that are not the Year Zero engine, which should be interesting to try as well. Tonight we've got some players that are going to be navigating the scenario Dark Flowers. It's a kind of a short scenario in the starter guide, and I think everybody's excited to give it a shot. So hopefully everybody's had a moment to kind of take a look at their character sheet. Can everybody find their character sheet? I guess that would be the first question. It should be under the journal, and you should have someone showing there for you. If you would, just we'll go down, start with Bob. Give us your character's name and what their position is on the ship.
Okay, my character is Zebo Hatul.
And you're,
and
it may not say on there, actually, now that I think about it, it might not have your position. You're the engineer, essentially?
Ship worker engineer.
Yeah,
Very
you had picked that because that's kind of right up your alley. Stephanie? Or Sapphire Steel?
I am Armida Wanda. I am the doctor. Everybody's favorite person when they get injured.
You're also the captain of the ship. I don't know if that was in there.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So
No, it was not.
You'll be calling the shots tonight.
Okay.
Josh, you probably can't look yours up right now. You're Royoa Galub. You're the gunner for the ship. And basically a soldier or former legionnaire. And then we've got Owen, aka Venomous Toucan.
And I am currently playing Nima Desolf. I will be your pilot for the evening.
Place your trays in an upright position, please, while we endure these turbulence, right? All right. Fantastic.
Well, it's not a fighter plane, but, it gets around.
No, it's kind of a smallish ship. Let me go ahead and we'll go ahead and move to the bridge right now.
We'll call it cozy.
Yeah, it's a cozy little ship. It does have 4 decks. And right now you're all kind of on the bridge. Make sure let me know if you can't see the bridge at this point, because that means I've got something incorrect on one of the tokens. But you should see
I can see the bridge, but right now on my character sheet, I can only see my bio and info. I can't see my actual character data.
Okay, let's look at that. Now you should be able to. And I
I
guess
can see
everybody
the
should check their
bridge.
character sheet also to make sure you can access the character sheet.
I can pull up my character, but I don't have any of my stats. I just have my icon.
That's odd that you can't see it. I don't understand why you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, let's not let it hold up the game.
Okay.
We have lots to cover.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, well, I don't understand that, but we'll go ahead and move on, and we'll see what you need to roll when the time comes.
Sounds good.
All
Thank
right.
you.
So, let me go ahead and give you the situation here. You're on the Narzaliths is the name of your ship. Okay. So the bridge of the Narzaliths is quiet except for the steady hum of the ventilation system and the faint sound of the avionic sensors. You've been traveling through the depths of the Dabaran system for the last week. At first, it was just another mindless routine job. Pick up and drop off. You've done this 100 times before. But then something happened. A blurry signal from a representative for the Foundation. An offer of a lucrative mission if you found a missing ship. The Shamsa, carrying a professor from Dabaran. The pay was too good to turn down, and now the coordinates of the last known position of the ship were just a short detour from your route anyway. So you took it. That was 2 days ago. Now, suddenly, the ship's sensors have come to life. Alerts and prompts warn you of something close by. It's not a ship, though. It's a station. So, what you're seeing in front of you is a space station. What would you like to do?
I would like to, if we have the ability, scan the station and find out what is actually on it.
Yes, you can.
Can I double check the star map and make sure that there's not supposed to be a station here?
There is not supposed to be a station there, as far as you knew. When you pull up your map for known, space stations and known planets and things like that for this system in this area, yeah, it's not supposed to be here. So, you're wanting to do a sensor sweep.
Yes, and I also want to look in the database to see if we can identify what kind of a station it might be, what race or anything else like that, any kind of background detail on it.
Okay, perfect. So let's start with the sensor sweep. That's going to be probably your, it would normally be your sensor person, but nobody's playing Amin. So who has data gen on their character sheet? Now you do not, Captain. But
I do.
Okay, so go ahead and roll data gen, and let's see what you get. Fantastic. So that's a success. You do kind of a scan, and it requires a few minutes, but when you do the sweep, you see that the station is powered down, but the core is still functioning. You are receiving weak signs of life, particularly in the biodome. And there is active gravity on the station, you can tell.
Can we tell what kind of atmosphere or anything like that is on it?
You're getting indications that there is an atmosphere, but you can't really get a good reading. And the reason why is, as you're kind of approaching this station, there's a haze around it, kind of a weird, like almost fog. And as you kind of approach and you're looking at this, you notice that the station also has some sort of like almost plant-like growth over the areas of the station itself. It's not completely covered, but large areas of it are. And then there's this kind of haziness that's like this fog around it also. The database search, I don't need a roll for that. It doesn't take long, and the name of the station comes up. It's the Royal Dabaran Institute for Astronomic Research Station number 18, or Royal Dabaran IARS 18. Let me put that in the chat here for you.
While she's getting that data, could I check the system? Could I check for weapons?
Well, hang on. There's actually a little bit more I want to tell you about the station, okay? As you're
Understood.
kind of scrolling through this, the station design, it's an old Dabarani station, and it was built 146 years ago. And as you're kind of scrolling, the interesting thing here is that the station was reported as lost with all hands 101 years ago, during the last stages of the Portal Wars. And the station was part of a research program created by the last Emir of Yaheni on Dabaran. And there's no further information in the database.
Kind of a side note, the professor, is this the coordinates that we think that he may be at? Or is this a side trip
when you
that we
double
just
check
kind
your
of came
coordinates?
through?
No, when you double check your coordinates, this is where the professor that you're supposed to be checking on is. And
Okay.
You wanted to check on weapons. There are no weapons.
Are there cameras on board that we can access remotely?
Not remotely for sure, but you don't know that there would be cameras on board either.
Is there any kind of sensors and anything that we might be able to log into to see what's going on the ship without having to be on it?
You're not going to be able to do that. It looks like this haze seems to be interfering with some of your ability to access the station. Plus, it's so old, your computer's having a tough time dealing with it.
Okay.
Could I direct the sensors at that haze and figure out what chap is around the station?
It's a biomatter of some kind, and that's about all you can get with your ship sensors.
Do we have any remote kind of sensors or anything that we can launch that could encounter this fog type of thing?
Like a probe?
Or yeah.
Yeah,
basically.
no, you don't have a probe on this particular vessel. And keep in mind, this is not like a Star Trek kind of space adventure. It's more of a think at one time there was these great more Firefly-ish, and at one time there were these great technologies and these like portals that take you to different star systems and stuff, but nobody knows how they work, and it's a lot of information is lost. In fact, your computers are like, imagine you've got a 747, but you're running on a VIC-20 now, or a Commodore 64, because that's all you got. I mean, it's just kind of a distressed, almost dystopian kind of future as far as the hardware and a ship's abilities. It's not like the Star Trek sensors where you can, pinpoint the Vulcan that's 17 decks below, in amongst all the Romulans. You're not going to get that kind of detail.
Got it.
Okay.
Do you want to do a fly around?
Yeah, let's completely fly around it and see if there's anything that sticks out or anything that catches our attention.
Okay.
Captain.
That would be a piloting roll. Josh, you still a ways away or where I need to maybe roll that for you?
Yes, if you could.
Okay. Piloting roll. Here we go. Look at that good roll. Okay, no problem. So you kind of go around and you do notice that there doesn't really seem to be much in the way of power on the station. Everything is dark. There are signs of damage, both from asteroids, but also what looks to be like explosive damage to the back of the station's top side. The station is rotating around its own axis about once every 2 minutes. There are 4 visible airlocks. 2 seem to be covered by dark biomatter. And there is a ship that is docked to one of the airlocks. And it appears to be the Shamsa. Powered down, and it is also covered in biomatter now.
The explosive, does that seem to be having come from internally or externally?
That is
Can we tell?
external weapons fire, it looks like. And it is old.
Okay.
It is old.
Okay.
It is not recent.
So it looks like something attacked the station then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but
Okay.
probably 101 years ago.
I don't like this, boss. There's something wrong with grass that grows in the middle of space, especially over a ship that just got here.
Well, we're going to proceed with caution, but it's lucrative, so we'll
Yeah, the payday is 10,000
we'll
birr, which is significant.
we'll take it slowly. But we'll pull out because, of course, ultimately we're more than the money. So does there seem to be, when we scanned around areas that are less dense, that it might be more feasible to enter from versus other areas?
So the one airlock that's remaining and appears to be unhampered by the biomatter is probably your best bet. And there's 2 ways you can go about this. You can go ahead and dock with your ship, and that's going to be the safest. You know, it just requires a piloting roll to dock, or you can do a spacewalk over, and that becomes a little more dangerous because everybody has to roll some skill there to get across and not end up floating off into space.
While we were watching this, does the biomass seem to be moving at all or anything like that?
No, it's actually kind of rotating with the station. It's almost like it's, the haze is orbiting with the station.
Do we have any external weapons or anything like that we might try on the other side to see how it reacts?
You do have weapons on this ship. They're powerful enough that it could punch holes in the station. I mean, if it's just quote-unquote biomatter, and it will not just stop at the biomatter. It's going to eat a hole in the hull, probably.
Okay, so we can't tone it down, that we could just test it then. Okay.
Yeah, they're slug throwers. They're Vulcan cannons is what you've got on here.
Okay.
I know it's safer to dock, but I'm worried about Link and
Yeah.
Atmo with a biomatter we don't know, boss.
Yeah. How would you folks feel if we send a scout party of, say, 2 members across to see what's going on first before we fully commit? Are there any volunteers?
Sounds like you're going to have to voluntold.
Yeah, your
So-
pilot gives you an askew kind of look. Just really.
All right. So I'm going to need to keep my pilot on board, and I'm going to be on board. So who are my 2 most likely scout type personnel on board that I can send?
You're most scout orientated.
Yes.
Well, your pilot's an you're an ex-engineer.
I need my pilot on board in case they find that it is lucrative for us to come across. So who do I have left other than myself and my pilot?
You've got
I volunteer.
Okay.
that's your pilot that volunteered. You've got Amin with you. Amin is an artiste, and your sensor operator.
Okay.
He is got observation. He does have some infiltration. He's got a little
All
bit
right.
of data gen.
Okay.
So if you wanted to take an NPC with you, you could.
Okay. We'll grab definitely him. And then I need my pilot to stay with me. So who do I have next? Who's the most logical of my crew? Because I would know my crew, being the captain.
Right. You know their makeup or their personnel file. Yeah. Let's see
So
here. So you've got Zebo. Is got skills in technology, melee combat, and data gen. That's your engineer. He would be useful in getting the basically maybe the power back on the station, things like that. Could open doors that are problematic.
That sounds like a good choice. So between the two of them.
Amin, and then Roya is that's your legionnaire. That's your gunner. Range combat, melee combat, dexterity and observation. I mean, they're a fighter, you know.
Okay.
And then you've got Nima, and that's a pilot, very good with data gen, so can handle computers well. Some technology, a little bit of survival, and some range combat.
We'll send the NPC and the engineer. And then have them in constant communication. And if they are able to determine, we will dock with the station.
Okay. Bob, you got voluntold, brother.
Hey, you put me in charge.
It happens. That's what a captain's got to do, you know? Especially when people are like, I don't want to go over to the spooky station.
Yep. We have access to any type of schematics
Yes.
out of that station.
Yes, you can pull up some information on it. Let me move you guys to that one. So you pull up basically this map here. This is kind of what the station looks like, and it kind of tells you about the different areas there. In the overview of the station.
Okay. Now, one question: is there any correlation to the density of the biomatter to energy concentration from the station?
Not from the energy, because there's really not much in the way of energy. It's just minimal life support, and you can tell that basically it looks like the core is still functioning, but it's in a extremely low power mode, like the sleep mode. But you do notice in checking this that the matter is basically evenly distributed to some extent around the station.
Other than the airlock.
Yeah, there you got the two airlocks, and make an observation roll on that. And all of you can do that.
What would I be rolling?
Observation, and your observation would be 2 plus. I think it's going to be 4 here. Observation is a wits, so 4. Yeah, roll 6d6. And you're looking for 6s. Those are successes, okay? And have you ever played this system, by the way?
Not specifically with that, just with straight up rolling.
With Alien, you've done Alien though, right?
Not on roll 20.
Okay,
just on
but-
Discord.
Okay, but I mean, you've rolled. You understand that 6s are successes.
Yeah, and 1s are failures.
Ones are failures.
I
yep.
had 1 success, so.
Yep. Now you can push a roll in this game. If you didn't get any 6s, you can re-roll 6s. Or I'm sorry, re-roll anything that's not 6s. But you got to give me a darkness point. And
Okay.
a darkness point is something I can spend later to make things happen.
Okay.
And but then you
I'm
get your
familiar
reroll.
with the push, so how that works. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it's basically you're pushing the roll. Anyway, you did succeed. So did your pilot.
Venomous.
Looks like. Yep. So when you look at it, you did notice that the 2 docking ports that don't seem to have any biomatter on them remain in shade or are not ever illuminated by the dwarf sun that's in this system as it rotates on its axis.
So basically, it's a regular plant that needs photosynthesis. Okay. With that in mind, can we, after we get our people across, can we stage the ship to cast a shadow on it to keep those ports wide open of possibly the
Yeah, you don't really have to cast a shadow because they stay in shadow. They don't ever, those 2 ports don't ever seem to get much light. Now,
well to
now
extend the area a little bit
however,
more.
I will say that the Shamsa does stick out further than the port, and it does catch light. But the docking ports are in kind of recessed an area, and they didn't catch light, but the Shamsa does. Yeah, you can almost see a delineating line on the Shamsa where it goes into shadow that doesn't seem to hit the light.
Let's try and experiment and move the ship a little bit to see if the biomass reacts quickly or not to a new shadowed area.
Okay. How close are you getting? Are you going to get into that haze that's around it of
No.
biomatter, or are you going to stay? Okay, so you maneuver. I'm not going to require a roll. That's an easy thing to do. And you kind of go into a geocentric orbit around it to keep your shadow in one area while it does its rotation. And you don't see any reactivity from it.
Okay, so it's not very fast moving. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll line up to give our people moving the best chance to basically get across into those airlocks.
Okay, so that's going to be
Can do.
you're sending Amin and Zebo, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, Bob. Zebo's gonna and you have exoshells on your suit on your ship for everybody. Okay. Everybody has exoshells. No problem. So this is a straight up. I think it's a straight up dexterity roll. Let me look here real quick.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the first one across has to make a dexterity roll, and then the others can be pulled over by a cable. I assume that's what your plan is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll have whoever's got the best chance of doing it, so the highest dexterity, to go across first.
Agility, essentially, is what it is.
Correct.
Yeah.
That would probably be me since I've got 0G training, but I need to be here to pilot the ship.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Amin has got a pretty good agility and but no dexterity score. There is actually a dexterity skill also. My raw skill is a 4. What's yours, Zebo? Do you have a dexterity
3.
skill?
I have no skill, but agility
Is a 3?
right.
Okay, so it's going to be I'm the best bet with an agility of 4 with a min. So is that how you want to go, Captain?
Can we put a tether on you and pull you back if you start to go the wrong way?
Yeah, you've got them tethered, essentially.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So basically, we can reel you back if you start heading towards the biomass by accident.
Yeah, well, you're going to have if with a space thing, you're going to have to go through they're going to have to go right through the bio haze to get to the ship. That is around everywhere. So, but the biomass on the hull, you can keep them away from that. If they don't fail their roll too bad.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, here we go. Is it gonna roll? There it goes. I rolled twice. The first one's the correct one. Woo-hoo.
Nice.
So, all right. So Amin makes it across and kind of secures the tether.
The zip line.
And Zebo, I just need a roll from you with a +2, okay?
Okay.
And basically, this is just to make sure you don't get moving too fast when you're crossing.
Okay, I'll temporarily add 2 to the general on it then.
Perfect. Fantastic. So you slide over and you're at the door, the airlock door.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah. Not terrible. Now, one thing you do notice once you get over there and you're in each other's like suit lights is you do notice that the biomatter has stuck to the suit in places and it seems to be clinging a bit, but it's not doing anything to the suit. It's not like it's eating through it or anything, but it has you went through the cloud and it's clinging to the suit. So what's next?
Yes,
I'm assuming we have a comm open with them to monitor what's going on. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so Captain, we have successfully reached the station.
Very good.
We
Can
did
you
pick
access the controls to be able to get into the airlock?
Working on that right now.
Very good.
Okay, so to
Open
the airlock.
Be a data gen for me.
Okay.
Was there any kind of codes or anything in the schematics or the intelligence that we pulled up at all?
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
Yeah. All kinds of information on the Shams, all kinds of information on the Shamsa, but they didn't give you much in the way of this. The database that you looked in, that what you looked up was all you could get on this thing.
So it's generic and not specific. Okay.
Yeah. So Fantastic. You get the door to open. It opens right up for you. And you step in the airlock, and do you go ahead and close the outer door, or how do you want to work that?
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it.
Okay, you close the outer door again, and there's some readouts on the airlock control panel, and it's indicating a breathable atmosphere on the other side. You do notice as the beams from your suit the light cuts through the darkness inside the airlock, it's dusty in here, but when you kind of look, it's not really dust. It's some sort of dark particles that you're kind of seeing floating around. It's a really dark dust. There's some old symbols on the door to the station. You notice a helmet that's resting on the floor, and yeah, basically right now all you hear is your breathing.
Is there a decom station outside of the airlock that they would go through before they go into the main station?
No, not on this.
Hmm.
So you just basically hear your breathing in your spacesuit, and the lights of your spacesuit are cutting through the darkness, and like I say, you see this helmet, and it's on the floor, and that's about it.
Anything noteworthy about the helmet?
When you pick it up, you notice that there's some of this biomatter's on the inside of the helmet, so it looks like it might have been there a while.
On the inside, but not the.
Yeah, there's some on the outside, but yeah, on the inside and outside. And and if you kind of scrape it, it comes off, and you can see it's a red helmet.
I'm going to recommend that they keep their suits on completely until such point that we can be confident that there is no transfer of anything. So at this point, just keep your suits on.
I wholeheartedly concur with that sentiment.
Okay. So do you want to go ahead and open the airlock, the interior airlock, or is the rest of the crew coming over, or what do you want to do there?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to wait to have them scout to see if it is feasible and safe for us to dock, or if they need to make a quick getaway.
Okay. Perfect.
Because we're not sure of the status on what's going on with the station. So we're going to err on the side of caution.
Gotcha.
Better to lose two than the crew.
All right, so the airlock pressure, I assume you're opening it. Am I right?
Yes.
I'm assuming. Okay, so the airlock pressurizes, and the door opens up for the interior, and again, it's dark in here. There's a corridor in front of you. It's an octagonally shaped corridor, and it kind of stretches off into the darkness as your beams of light kind of try to penetrate, and this hallway kind of extends on. Do you go ahead and leave the airlock?
Yes, I'll leave the airlock and close it behind me.
Okay, you close the door behind you, and one of the things you notice as you're kind of stepping, you're like, this seems uneven. You're not stepping on flat deck plate, and you're kind of feeling like a crunchy kind of feel. And when you kind of look down and get your lights on it, you notice there's a dark, tangled, thick undergrowth of wiry vines and strange dark leaves that covers the floor, and it even goes up now that you notice, it's kind of going up the walls even, in some places almost half its height. And the door, the hallway is completely dark, and there's there's no way to activate the light strips from here.
I'm assuming he's conveying that back.
Are you describing that for him?
Yes, I'm relaying. I'm relaying that back via radio.
Okay.
Okay. We know the schematics of the ship, so what is the most likely path basically to get to the engineering to restore power if needed on the ship?
Yeah, it's not hard. I mean, you can route it, and I think you might have a data pad even, don't you?
I mean, we're going to try to convey as much information to him as we can to make.
If you don't, I'm going to say that you've got a data pad, Zebo. That, yeah, you've got a data pad that basically you have the floor plan, and there's a way to go basically kind of straight to engineering if you'd like. It's basically gets on a stairwell that goes straight down to the lower decks of the station.
I mean, that seems to be the most logical course to bring everything online, to have access to everything, and to determine the status of the station. So that would be my recommendation.
We'll head straight to engineering then, slowly
Okay.
and carefully.
Okay.
Very good.
Eyes on the swivel.
Your trip is a lot of the same. You've got places where there's not much of this growth and biomatter, and then there's other places where it's really thick, and it's actually even up on the roof of the hallways. As you're kind of leaving the airlock area, give me a quick observation roll.
I do have a quick question. On the suits, do we have the ability to have like a torch or some kind of a flame type of thing that might come in handy if this plant growth is an issue?
No, not on the suits.
Okay.
Okay. As you're going down, it's just a lot of the same, Zebo. And when we get down to kind of the engineering area, let's see here.
I would recommend when you get to engineering to see if there's some kind of a torch or something that might be handy that you might add to your inventory in case you need it.
Let's see what we can find.
Very good.
Got
So what do you think wrecked this place?
Considering it's 100 years ago, could be anything. I'm hoping when we restore power, we might be able to access some of that information and might give us more data so that we can know what we're dealing with.
Yeah, or awaken some Portal War horror. You know, that's always an option.
Well, the professor is here somewhere in some capacity, so we're going to do our best to collect on our bounty.
Although vegetative state.
Well, what is the phrase? They can't hear you scream in space. We're going to try to avoid that.
All right, so you come down,
Definitely be nice.
climb down a ladder, and lets you off here, and you've got a door in front of you that's that's closed, but it doesn't appear to be locked. But it says engineering on it.
Yeah, let's open it up.
All right.
Is there anything? Well, that's fine. What was that?
Just ignore those. It was I had a tough time finding an engineer map that didn't have weird stuff on it. So just ignore those red lines. They're not like lasers.
These are
or
not
something.
the droids you're looking for.
Yeah. It's like I would find a map and I'm like, oh, this is it. This is the one I'm going to use. And then it's like, what is this thing? And I had to kind of finally compromise and just come up with this one. So,
Well, we'll evolve. We'll work through it. So thank you.
Amir is like, are you coming, Zebo?
Is this? Do I notice anything different, Gillier?
Just again, some of the growth here. Let's see. I don't think it's quite as thick here. Let me look.
Engineering might actually have a torch for you.
The corridors are kind of different here. The roof is lower. The walls are full of pipes and cables, and panels are full of writing and old dar. It's kind of a maze of pipes. It's kind of just dusty corridors and that lie abandoned and unused. So it's not much growth here.
This deep down, there shouldn't be enough light to do it.
So you come to another door here. And again, not locked, so I'm guessing
anything with a door that looks odd or out of place?
Nope, no damage to it or anything like that.
Okay, let's proceed.
All right.
And I'm just constantly doing a stream of consciousness through the radio to the captain on what I'm saying.
Okay. So you see the core here.
I assume this is the core.
Yep. You've got a control panel over here, and you've got the core itself.
Looks like it's pretty sleepy.
Yeah, it's in a low state of power. You think you can probably get it where you can bring some lighting up, but you are not sure you want to push it much past that. Basic life support and that would include your lighting is all you really want to push it.
Question: the lighting, can we control what type of lighting it is? Can we change the lighting to be frequencies that do not encourage plant growth?
No, that's beyond this lighting technology's ability here.
Yeah, what I was going to ask is what type of lighting is it?
Technobabble lighting. I mean,
if it's fluorescent, it should not help plants, and that's old technology. So that might be on the station.
It would be some sort of diode lithium light strip or something. I don't know. Insert technobabble here. That you charge it with.
if it's
some energy
if it's fluorescent or LEDs, that's not going to help plants. So we might not encourage the plant growth here if it's older technology. So we might be okay.
I think what he's saying is that it's space technobabble lighting, and it's probably their equivalent of LEDs.
Okay. I'm just not going to. I'm hoping we can avoid encouraging the plant growth, basically, to make our task more difficult.
All right, I'm going to check out the control panel.
Okay. Like I said, when you examine this, you think that it looks like it's maybe they've already maybe messed with it. You can kind of see where there's been some dust displaced, and it looks like that's what brought the environmental up. So you're thinking that probably was done by the Shamsa crew. But they didn't really take it much. They didn't bring up the lighting. You're not sure why on that. But you think you can bring the lighting up without taxing the core.
Yeah,
Much
I have a
more,
feeling I know why they didn't bring the lighting up.
much more, and you don't think the core is gonna, like, if you try to do maneuvering thrusters for this thing, you're pretty sure the core would fail, given its age and everything.
I control. So if I bring up the lighting, is it going to be the lighting on the entire station, or will it just be? Or
No,
can I
you can
control
control what sections you want to bring it up in.
Sensors and engineering that can look at any of the readings in the station from where he's at?
I mean, it's going to be basic stuff. There's no, if you're looking for cameras, you're not going to find them. There's no cameras on the station.
Well, I mean, any kind of sensors, life forms, anything that seems out of the ordinary that
Yeah,
a
again,
layman can look at. So
again, you don't have, this isn't tricorders and that kind of thing. You have a general life form reading that you got that kind of is throughout the station. So basically, the biomass is masking anything that might be
okay.
around. That
What
could
about
be.
heat sensors? Is there anything
Be
that's
able
like
to
super hot and super cold areas or anything like that?
You would be able to see like an overheating core, but it's not going to pick up a body temperature of a human, particularly one that maybe is in an exosuit.
Okay.
He might
Well,
be
I
able
just
to
want to
pull
make
up their
sure.
maintenance logs, see what maintenance checks or orders had to be done before this all happened.
Yeah, anything.
I was also thinking about seeing if there was a like maybe alarms that have been set off on the station, um, something like that.
Okay, give me
Or
a
if there's
data
any kind of,
gen roll, and you can kind of just go through the logs here. Okay,
or if
so
there's any kind of journals or anything like that too as well. If we can access that, that would be great.
so most of your older database stuff is shot. The storage did not survive whatever happened, or the 101 years, you're not sure which. As you're kind of looking over the control panel, I want to check one thing here. Yeah. There might be something here. You do find what looks to be like maybe an access card on the panel. It when you're kind of wiping the dust off the panel, you knock the card, and you find an access card.
Like security access.
Yeah, it's like and you're not sure. It has something on there like level 6, and you have no idea what. I mean, you've got no frame of reference. What it might be the janitor's card, and it might be the captain's. You have no idea.
I'll grab that.
But it's an access card of some kind. When you kind of get the dust off and you're checking, like I say, the logs appear to be shot. They're the low power state. Basically, there wasn't power enough to maintain the magnetic storage or whatever it was. However, the stuff was stored is shot. You also can check. You can tell that the damage has damaged some power relays and things like that, and particularly the damage is quite severe in the living quarters area. There's actually some breaches there that appear to have occurred. And the section is
The area
basically
isolated so that it's not
it's
affecting the rest of the
isolated.
station.
It's
Okay.
isolated, but you can get into it if you want to go and check it out. Zebo's able to kind of see what route he needs to take, and then you obviously want a spacesuit when you go in there. But he can get you into the living quarters if you want. But there's no logs. There's no security alerts that are popped up in recent. You can just tell that somebody came in and basically brought the atmosphere online and brought it up to a better standard. And you think they probably, like you, they were worried about taxing the core.
Okay. So what I think I'll do is I'll have to bring the lights up, but only at about 50.
Okay. You were able to bring the lights up. I don't think I can change that right here, right now, but let's see here. See if it'll let me make this change while you're on. Yeah, so you bring the lights up, and the core doesn't seem to take it too hard. It does okay.
Else noteworthy in this area?
Not really.
Do I see any recent footprints to the
Yeah,
other
you
two
see,
doors?
that there's been probably multiple people walking around in here, and you figure it was the crew of the Shamsa. You're sure? I mean, because it's recent.
Well, we're going to assume that the professor is on board too, so.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do?
Looking at the schematics and that, is there, knowing that the living quarters are not habitable at this point, are there any other areas that are probable habitations that we might want to investigate?
I would
Well,
assume the biodome would be on the list.
yeah, that might be a place. The med lab might have some areas. You know, they'll have beds for sure.
So
Let's
I'm
see.
going to ask our personnel on board if they feel that it is safe for us to dock and the rest of the group joins to make a larger party to explore.
I mean, I trust you, boss. You say we should dock and go in, get all together. We should dock and go in, get all together. I'm just gonna note, creepy space stations with weird space plants floating in the middle of the darkness of the void does not fill me with confidence when looking for insane scientists.
Duly noted.
Problem is, man, you got a ship payment to make, and that 10,000 birr will make it really easy.
Yeah,
Great
yeah.
would be a powerful ally.
It's like Mal said,
Agreed.
and Mal said,
It's
at some time we got a real
weighing the
powerful need to
needs
eat.
against the wants. Okay.
Real powerful
Does
need to eat.
so looking at what you're seeing for the data on the station, does it seem to be something that is feasible, or should we continue with just the two of you investigating?
Unless these plants just rapidly start growing from me bringing, so we're okay.
As
You
far
don't
as
Well,
you
you.
don't see
Okay.
any. You haven't seen any rapid growth yet in the 8 minutes you've been discussing this. They haven't. You haven't seen any here. Of course, it's limited. There's not much down here.
Yeah. Well, how about um the dome? Why don't you investigate the dome on your way back to the airlock and determine what you can find before we dock?
okay.
Our remote crew will return via investigating the dome to the airlock and observe and report to see the status on things before we dock.
Roger that. We are heading your way topside.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're headed to the
Think-
dome.
Yeah, and then we'll proceed to the dome.
Quick question.
Yes.
Well, was our remote team able to pick up like torches or anything in engineering?
No cutting torches. No.
Any kind of flame, kind of anything like that? Maybe even fire extinguishers or something?
There'd be some form of fire extinguisher. Yeah.
Okay.
If you want them to pick that up.
Yeah, I mean, the cold from the fire extinguisher may be beneficial to discourage any of the plant growth if push came to shove.
Could be.
So, right quick, have they already made it to the biodome?
They
just
are at the
restarting my computer
biodome.
and stuff. Captain, requesting permission to board immediately. I don't like the idea of them being in the place where all of this potentially went down, with it being a biological nuisance, and they are headed to the biodome without a proper gun amongst them.
All right. Permission granted.
Okay.
Thank
Give
you,
me a dexterity roll, and
Oh,
you're at a
the
plus
zip
2.
line is in place, so it'll help. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Line is still in place, so plus 2.
Please keep in communication, and if you see anything that you think that the rest of the crew is safe to join, that would be ideal.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, you make it across, and you cycle the door, and using your data pad, you can meet up with them pretty easily here. Let's get your token.
A group of 3 is stronger than a group of 2, so.
And can you see, Josh?
Negative.
Nope. Okay. I can fix that. All right. Can you see now?
Refreshing the page.
Because when I go into your token, you can.
Just refresh the page, and I'm still not seeing anything.
Really?
Yeah, he's refreshing again. I can see the little circle arrows.
Let's try that. How about that?
That did it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Helps. Okay, cool. So the first thing you guys you all notice when you kind of get into this foyer area of the biodome is that the biomatter and this growth is pretty thick here. All along the walls, all along the ceiling even. And you see from the dome area, which is they call it a what do they call it? A ceramic glass dome. I thought that was kind of an interesting name for it, which allows light in. You see the red hue of the dwarf sun shining through that dome in there. So you should see kind of a red hue in there. What would you like to do?
Do we see any footprints going in and out? Any recent footprints going in and out of here?
There's not really dust to disturb here because there's just growth all along the floors and stuff here. It's so it you don't really.
Well,
you
would the
can't really
growth
tell.
have like crush points from weight?
Well, you can take a look. Let's see here. Let's do a. That would be a. I'd say that's just an observation roll. So, Roya and Zebo can make an observation, and I'll roll one for Amin. No, that's you can't tell if anybody's walked here.
Just be worried. We know that there's probably crew and the professor at least in some capacity. So be watchful.
I'd like to note, GM, that my Legionnaire carbine is at the ready.
Okay, perfect. All right, where to? You guys have control of your icons, your tokens.
I just have a strange feeling that we should not go in there. But
Well, I don't think we got much of a choice if we want to know what's going on. I'll take
no,
point.
I'm right behind you.
I trust you guys. Be careful. Watch your back on my ship.
Okay. You notice that in here the growth is everywhere. It's covering the floor, walls, and even some of it's up on the glass dome. In this, what I'd call more proper kind of light, you notice that it's a dark purple weed, and it's it's covering the floor, it's climbing the walls, it's even across that glass dome, the ceramic glass dome. You'll notice that the top layer in places is covered by small dark flowers, and they're all turned towards the dome, as if they're reaching for what little light they're getting from Dabaran that is let through that dome there. And then you don't really see, and this, of course, this picture, again, I had to utilize what I could find here, but you don't see really any other plant life. This dark purple weed has taken over everything in here and choked everything else out.
The biomatter that's on my suit, has there been any change to it?
No, it's not eating through the suit or it hasn't grown or anything like that. It's just still kind of bits and pieces, where it kind of clung to the
An
suit.
experiment. You have some of the fire extinguishers from engineering. Do a small burst on your suit to see if that nullifies some of the plant growth on it.
That's also a question right there. What type of fire extinguishers are these? Are they like a chemical thing or something else?
Again, what kind of extinguisher that they have in the future? I'm going to say it's something that's designed for electrical, which would be kind of a cold. I think they use it's like a cold, isn't it? One of the ones that has CO2 for electrical fires.
Electrical is usually hydrogen because you don't want it to leave a residue.
Okay. I can't remember my fire extinguishers. I'm not a firefighter, so it's going to be something that's appropriate for that.
I mean, it'll do cold, but it'll basically pull the oxygen out with the cold part of it. So yeah.
So who's going to spray who?
Well, you said the purple growth is everywhere in this room, right?
Yeah, but
Well, no, we wanted to try it on one of the suits to see how it reacts to what's been basically absorbed.
Yeah, when you
by
came
going
across
through
it,
so.
I didn't clarify that with you, but when you came across, you would have gotten some of the biomatter that's the haze around the station. You go through that like it's like going through fog, and some of that clings to your suit.
So basically, we want to test to see if the fire extinguisher can get rid of the stuff that's cleaned your suit to see if it might be effective in the rest of the station on a small scale without affecting what's growing in the station.
I would like to take out my knife, scrape off a small bit of this stuff from my suit, and then offer that up to whoever's holding the fire extinguisher.
Okay. Zebo, you want to spray it on the knife?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay. It doesn't seem to affect it. If it does freezing, it would freeze up and fall off. But it doesn't jump off the knife or anything.
When he scraped off the suit, is that then clean?
Yeah, he's able to clean the suit.
Okay,
based
so
on
I'll
that,
recommend that.
Yeah, based on that, you think a brush could brush off the material.
Okay, I recommend that they all brush off their suits so that they are clean, and then proceed.
Okay, and the airlock around the airlock, there might be tools to clean a suit, basically.
Okay.
But not up here.
Okay.
We don't have that on us right now. So.
They have the knife, so they can kind of improvise and use that to get themselves clean at this point because we didn't utilize that earlier. So.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if we're going to be scraping it off with a knife at this point. That's going to take a while.
It's going to take a while, but I was going to start seeing some dexterity rolls to make sure we don't cut a suit.
Oh, okay. Well,
that could be bad.
Yeah, they're not. These are not armored exo suits. They're
okay. Well, we know we can get it off, so continue on cautiously.
That's a point right there. Would I not be able to wear my light armor while I had the suit on?
No, you would be able to wear your light armor underneath. I didn't see anything in the. You can't layer armor, but I didn't see anything about not being able to wear a suit over the top. So I'm going to say you can wear your light armor underneath.
Perfect then.
Okay.
But that's going to punch a hole in your suit first. Just be FYI.
All right. So we know you can clean the suits after. So proceed with caution.
Are you going to explore any more of this dome?
How far away is one of those flowers?
You can almost lean down and see one right at your feet.
Can we hit the stem of that with the fire extinguisher and try to pluck one?
Yeah. You spray the fire extinguisher on it, and it doesn't do anything. Doesn't fold up or anything like that. And then are you going to try to pluck it?
Yeah.
All right. You pluck the flower, and nothing seems to happen.
Can we take a closer look at the flower now?
Yeah, it's a little different structure than what you've ever seen. It doesn't look like a normal flower structure. Take with that as you will. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a botanist, so I can't describe that for you, but it looks like a space flower that you've never seen before. You think if you got it to a lab, you could probably run it through some checks and see maybe a little more detail about it than what you could scan.
All right.
Well, we're not really here to collect any botany, so let's just see if we can find the professor and grab him and go our merry way. Collect our bounty.
Fair enough. I will not keep the flower with me.
Okay. You gonna go ahead and explore any more of this then, or are you heading to another location?
Well, I would recommend looking to see if there's any signs of habitation in the dome or any signs that there is transference between here and another area that the professor might be occupying. Because I would think that the professor might be interested in what's going on in the dome.
Can we
You're
check
not-
some of these pathways specifically for that? Now that we're closer to them,
Yeah.
for that depression.
Make a dex roll for me. Okay. As you're walking, you're some of the vines were kind of getting tangled up in your feet, but it didn't trip you.
And was that
And-
them moving, or that was just it's like walking over a bunch of cords?
It's just walking over. You're walking over a viney, lush area here. I mean, you didn't see him move anyway.
All right. Well, my geeks, what do you think? I'm just here to shoot stuff.
I think I'm waiting to be told to finish docking.
Go ahead and show me where you guys are going to move in the dome. You need to either if you're
Well,
gonna,
they're supposed to be moving back to the airlock, so
Oh,
when
they
they
are
get to the airlock,
Oh,
we
you don't
will.
want to search the dome right now? Okay.
Well, definitely search the dome first.
Oh, okay. So, are you going to?
If they can collect the professor on the way, we are like out of here. Gilligan's Island is gone, but
Yeah.
And make sure you guys watch your step. The vines here are finicky.
Okay. Yeah, that they are tangly, but everybody seems to be doing okay so far. I'm gonna just go ahead and let you know you walk all the pathways, and unless you want to just get out into the areas where there's no pathways and try to push through the growth there and start moving through that really thick, dense stuff, you don't find anything here.
No way, Jose. I am not walking into the unknown on this one.
Okay.
The doctor's in there. He can just stay there.
Okay. So you're gonna head back to the
the
airlock then.
professor.
Okay. So let's get you back to this. I think I gotta move you to the players. Yeah, right here like that. Perfect. Okay, so we're back to... You head back to the airlock. It's... You got sort of lights now, so go ahead and give me another observation roll.
I think the lab should be the next place we go to.
We'll be cleaning up our suits towards over by the airlock, right? Everyone's in agreement on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
absolutely.
do that.
Make sure to clean off all my gear, all of everything.
Okay. So we've got observation failure from... Did you go ahead and push that? Oh, you did a dexterity. Did you want to push that, Zebo?
Yeah. So what? And I roll all 5 again.
Yep. Roll the whole thing again.
Yeah.
All right. Take my darkness point.
Yep.
Still failed. Okay. Kithic, you failed as well. Let's see here. I'm in. We'll go ahead and do one. Hey. So while you are at the basically the let me go ahead and move your characters here to it. And I'm gonna just, since you're coming into, are you going ahead and dock, Captain? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, because we don't have anything that says we shouldn't at this point. So yeah, we're going to dock.
Okay. So I just need a piloting roll.
Understood.
There's no screaming. There's horrific things
Oh,
coming at us. So
wow.
we're gonna
Why
do it.
in the world would I get that right there?
Critical success. You get in, and as you're moving through, you notice that some of the biomatter is starting to kind of stick to the hull of the ship, and even on the, basically it's the, not the windshield, but the windshield of the bridge there. And you do some maneuvering, and you kind of are able to maneuver through some lighter portions of this biomass that's kind of floating around the station, and you're able to significantly limit the matter that hits the window. And you're like, man, I'm pretty sure if I had to have flown right through that, it probably could have collected on that enough where I'd have trouble seeing, and might have made it difficult to dock. But you're able to kind of find a path through it and significantly reduce the amount of biomatter that gets stuck to the viewport and the exterior of the ship.
And that's
Wonderful.
why you're my pilot.
That's exactly right. All right, can you guys see? Probably not. I need to go ahead
No.
and assign here.
You got the fog on us, so which is perfectly appropriate.
There you go.
Ooh, yay. Thank you.
All right, so the door closes. You've got the door opens in front of you, and here you see your people.
We are all keeping our suits on. I'm recommending that all of us keep our suits on the entire time we're in here because of this biomass, and that we do not want to risk anything. So we are going to be smart about this.
Okay.
And when we get back to the ship, we are going to completely and totally spray ourselves before we get out of our suits, because we are not risking our ship.
DM,
Yes.
would it be data gen or a technology roll to lock the door behind us so that...
That's going to be a data gen.
Okay. Just make sure that
It's
somebody
here,
who
so let's-
isn't listed
yeah.
on our crew roster isn't opening our ship and running off with it.
Okay. So you're gonna lock up your ship?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see a data gen roll.
Whoever's got the best, so.
You want to push that?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have to remove a darkness point?
No,
Yes.
I get a darkness point for that. You just re-roll all the dice. You kind of say a little prayer to the icons and say, man, I really need this to work. There you go. Perfect.
Ooh. Yes.
Okay. So as you are all kind of shuffling into the hallway here, I want Nima and the captain to make an observation roll now.
What is my observation roll, please?
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting you can't see your sheet.
No.
Also, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that 2 successes check was a piloting check, not a data gen check.
Oh.
Oh, whoops.
Whoops, let me hit the data gen then. That's weird.
Trying to sneak that in on me. I see how you are.
No, I'm not. I hit what I thought was datagen. I've got a +3 in both of them, so I assume it'd be about the same.
Blue lightning.
You're still good.
Well,
You're
there's
good to go.
one, so we're solid.
All right, you roll
It's
4, 5,
locked.
6 d6. Captain.
Okay. Pray to the random gods that aren't really random. Oh, one
Well, you got
success,
it-
but 2 failures.
The failures that don't mean anything.
Okay.
You've got the success, the 6. So, both of you, as you're helping them sort of finish cleaning off their suits, and you notice that this growth, like I say, one of the things you notice it's kind of weird as you step out is the crunchiness of the floor from the biomatter. It's like stepping kind of like in leaves, dried leaves, and how it kind of goes up the walls. And as you're kind of just, shining the lights off your suits, you notice there's a glove sticking out of the biomatter up against the wall. There's it goes up the wall in this area, maybe 5 or 6 feet. And there's a glove about, 3 or 4 feet off the floor sticking out of this biomatter.
Oh, perfect.
Looks like a exosuit's glove.
I'm sure there's nothing
It seems
inside.
there's a body here. Can we get somebody to grab it and pull it out?
Well, I'm pretty good at grabbing things, and I am pretty good at pulling things out. So.
All right, let's all give him some room and let's see what we reveal. I
Okay.
hope it's not the professor.
Oh, that's okay. We're done. Head home. All right, give me a force roll.
That works for me if we're there. So.
Yeah, it's not hard to pull it out, and you've got the glove in your hand. It's just a glove. There wasn't anything else seemingly attached to it.
All right, let's leave the glove here and move on.
I'd like to look inside the glove. Does it look like any of that stuff is on the inside of the glove?
No, but there is a skeleton of a hand in it.
Oh yeah, dead body.
So the biomass, the skeleton doesn't seem to have a suit connected to the rest of it, and it managed to get through seals to get to the body inside. Being a doctor, I might have a little insight into that.
So, give me a doc roll. Yeah, your let's see, that would be your. Would it be a? That'd probably be a science roll. So that's going to be your wits 3, 4d6 for you.
4d6. There we go.
And you got a 6.
Hey.
Excellent. So you're looking at this, and this is something that it looks like it's probably decomposition. This is not. Doesn't look like it's recent. This has definitely been here a while. And as you kind of look at the glove, you notice that the seals for the glove are an old style, very old style
it's
seal.
probably the original station.
Right. You're thinking this is probably original crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're mildly concerned, but not overly. Okay.
So this stuff may have been growing for 100 years.
Let's be attentive, but not paranoid. So,
and I
but
am
obviously
readying my Vulcan pistol.
There you go. That's what I'm counting on.
Okay, so basically, you've got some folks that have weapons at ready. And
So we've checked out the biodome. So what is the next probable location of the professor?
Let's
Because
suggest
we
the
want to
science
get
lab.
in, we want to get out, and we want to stay alive.
Have we checked the antenna yet?
We have not.
I would
Science
assume that if
lab's
someone
a
would,
good possibility too.
We've kind of got limited technology here because it's old, so we don't have a lot of remote accesses. So,
yeah, the Wi-Fi's down.
of course it is.
if
Somebody
someone
didn't
wanted
pay
to
the.
send a message out, then it'd probably be at the antenna. That's my guess, at least.
Is there a antenna Wi-Fi nearby on the route to the most probable location for the professor to be hiding out because he is like vague and
No,
trying to make it difficult?
sorry.
Who knows? Maybe at the antenna there might be tools for us to use to establish communication with the professor or what have you.
Zebo, make an observation roll.
You know the term assume. We're not going there.
So while everybody's kind of talking, you're sort of looking, down this way, and this hallway goes for quite a ways. And while the lighting has come up, you only brought it up to about 50%, and you're like, did I see something way down at the end of the hall, across the hall there? You're not sure, but you thought you might have caught some movement.
I will tell everyone.
Oh crap, the plants are growing. Feed me.
Or it's a person.
Either way, we're going to assume they're hostile.
Well, that's
So
not very
let's proceed.
nice. What kind of shows are you watching where it's always hostile?
Okay, we're in space. Seriously. When in doubt,
Shoot it out.
tried by 6, not carried by, or what is it? Tried by 12, not carried by 6. So we're gonna proceed with caution.
If we could salvage this station, we'd probably get a bigger payday than anything we'd get from that bringing that professor guy back. I mean, it's just a whole space station.
Yeah, considering how much growth is on here, yeah, it's not worth the effort.
Let's
Well,
not get ahead of ourselves. We should just find the professor for now. Salvage
Yeah,
comes later.
you're not going to be able to tow it, but registering salvage rights could be something.
Well, yeah, we can register and decide what we want to do with it later. That'll be work. That'll be feasible. But let's get the professor, and then we can take some of that to create the rights and go from there. So
I'm just saying, I mean, you're a doctor. You should know how to make like herbicides, right? Like we can get some weed killer in here.
I'm a
Space
doctor.
Roundup's
I'm
a
not a
thing.
herbalist. I'm not a herbalist, okay?
Space Roundup is a thing.
I'm sure we can find someone with the right price, but for now, let's get the professor and move with it. So,
Okay, so where are we headed on the station?
what is the most probable area that we have not explored that is feasible for him to still be? Because the living quarters we know are not habitable at this point.
I'd vote for the lab.
That's probably a good starting point. Because
Okay.
being a scientist, he is definitely going to be there often, so may just decide that's just the best place to remain. So yeah.
Okay.
Let's be vigilant and watch the movement and possible plant growth and be wary.
Okay, so you head on up to the lab then? Okay.
Nice.
So you kind of, again, you see this growth is everywhere. Imagine that's purple, though. Can everybody see? Or did I lose you all?
Yes.
Is
Oh,
everybody-
no.
okay.
No, we're here.
Can
There's-
see, I'm just trying to think about exactly what, if anything, my ace pilot would be doing right now, besides following everyone else and looking around
So
for
it,
signs of something
it,
bad.
it looks like there is a plethora of plant growth in front of us.
Well, where your pilot's going to come in handy is definitely your data gen is handy. Because you've got a high data gen, don't you? You've got like a 3.
Indeed, I do.
Yeah. So that's, when you start working with computers, that's going to be important for sure. So, all right. Where do you want to? I mean, you guys should have control of your tokens there to kind of explore. What you see over
Well,
here
the
is like
question I have is,
looks like a conference room of some kind that's overgrown and dust covered and stuff. The walls here looks like this growth is actually broken through the wall to some extent.
Hmm. I'm going to peer through the doorway into the conference room to see what's beyond, because it looks like if you continue to the right, or if you're considering up north, what is east, if there is a doorway and such following either south or east.
Like here?
Yeah, I mean, there kind of looks vaguely like there is a wall, but going to the south, it looks like there might be rubble or something along that wall.
Looks like a door there is what you're seeing, and a door here, but both of them are open, and that you're actually kind of seeing into the other rooms a little bit.
And if I'm seeing correctly, it looks like it's kind of dark, so there is no plant growth.
No, there's some plant growth in here. Matter of fact, it's pretty heavy through here in places.
Because we don't really have a torch to be able to do anything about the plant growth, so we kind of want to try to circumspect it.
You've been walking on it since you walked in the station. There's not really any circumventing it.
Well, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you can stay away from heavier sections of it, but it is everywhere. It's rare that you find areas that don't have some along the floors and walls and ceiling and stuff. And this is particularly heavily along the walls, ceilings, and floor in here.
Do we have access into this conference area?
Yeah, you can get through right here.
Okay. I'll kind of peek through.
Okay.
Does that open up my view?
Yeah, I can. You want to move in over here, like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see on the table over here, looks like they used to have maybe some sort of coffee maker there, and some snacks that have long since rotten. You see signs of paperwork on the desk, but most of it's kind of, like some of it's on the floor. It looks like, people left in a hurry.
Is there anything that seems to be recent or anything? Because we're trying to kind of track down the professor. So
Right.
the professor is going to be in the last 100 years. So.
Right. So you're looking through this stuff. This is all old, but you look at your schematic, and over here to this, if you go down this hallway, there's the lab where there's and that's basically to your west on this map. And that's the lab proper area. What you're in here is the offices to the lab on the east side. And
Are there multiple ways to get to the lab?
Nope.
That
There's actually
the professors.
there's like what you referred to down earlier, a decon area that you go through, and then into the lab down here at the end of this hall.
So the professor would have had to come through this area to get to the lab then.
Not here. No, he coming out here. He would go down through here, over here.
Ooh. How thick is the
Down this way and over.
the planting?
It's thick here. It's thick. It's actually there. It's come through the wall here, but it's so thick that you can't. I mean, it's plugged the hole that it's come through. It's actually grown where the wall is down into the material, into the growth, and yeah, you can't see through the hole.
Does there seem to be new growth in that the professor might have worked his way through to get there?
No.
And it regrew?
No.
I don't like this, boss.
Yeah, I'm not real keen on this either. In this conference room, is there any kind of... probably not. There's not going to be any kind of flamethrowers or anything.
No. Yeah, no flamethrowers.
A machete would be good.
Yeah, if we had a machete or if we had a
Yeah.
modified a Keurig.
Let's see here. Who was it that I saw had that? So Ruya has a Dura knife.
Does that mean it's big, or what's the?
No, it's probably the size of a knife, like something you take to a knife fight. So maybe 3 inches, 4 inches max.
Lightsaber, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Wrong property.
It'd be effective.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if there's something here that we can improvise to clear this foliage.
Well, there might be something in the lab proper. I mean, they may have Bunsen burners, which would mean something, possibly.
I mean, we could quickly go back and arm ourselves to see if we can clear this without...
Well, you are armed already. You have an accelerator pistol.
Well, pistols aren't going to work very good against plants.
Well, basically,
Let's have-
you need to probably just move on from the idea that you're going to have a flamethrower. You're not going to have one. Let's just kind of move on from that.
Do we have knives that we might be able to clear?
Like a machete,
Or a
if you want to take
or
an
a
hour or
knife
so,
or something or other?
if you want to take an
something
hour or
that we
so
can
to basically make a machete and spend some time doing that, I'll let you. There's scrap all over the place.
All right.
But flamethrowers, flames on spaceships are not a good idea. You don't want stuff bursting into, that causes ruptures and bad things happen in a hurry.
I'm good with us making machetes so that we can clear this out without putting ourselves at undue risk.
Okay. So, Zebo, let's see here. Oh boy, what would be a good role for that? Do you have technology?
Oh yes, I have technology.
All right. Go ahead and roll that for me. Okay. It takes you, a little bit of time, probably an hour, to get everybody made up with a machete, kind of an impromptu uh, blade that you've taped up the handle with, and you're able to get that from, different bits and stuff from these couple of rooms here, and you've made some improvised stuff, but it takes about an hour. So everybody's got a machete now.
Choppity chop.
I'm feeling a little more confident, so we're all equipped.
Unless we piss the plant off. But anyway.
Could be the plant just
Well,
wants to be food for your friend.
we'll deal with Seymour when we get there.
All right. Where to? Are you going to stick around on the lab level, or are you going somewhere else?
We're heading toward the lab because we've determined that the most appropriate place that we're going to pick up the tracks of the professor is the lab, or we may get lucky and find him.
Okay.
We're lucky and find out a reason not to be here.
All right. So you're going to come down here and around. I need you to move your tokens if you're going to go there.
Very cautiously peek around the corner.
Okay. Yeah, you see basically a door here that is closed. And there's a little control panel right here. It looks like at one time it was some sort of decon chamber that you had to go in before you could go into the lab proper. You kind of takes you a minute to read the old Dar writing, but it's something to the effect of, all personnel must decon before entering lab area, that kind of thing. And you think with a quick data gen roll here, you can probably get in. Over here is kind of a storage room. Looks like spoiled supplies mainly. I don't know how long you want to look through that stuff, or if you're going to look through it at all.
We'll take a quick peek, see if there's anything that might be useful.
Not really. It's
Okay.
all looks like really old stuff that's spoiled.
All right. We'll keep going. So
our pilot, let's let him make the data gen roll here.
yeah, he's got the best one. So
Is there a card slot on that access panel?
no. This requires some code.
Okay.
Doesn't look like that card allowed him into the lab. Do you want to push that?
that might be getting our get out of jail free card. So hang on to that.
Did you want to roll that again? Did we lose him?
No, you didn't lose me. I switched to push to talk because small children. I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
You may take a shot at it.
Do you have someone in there?
Boss, I'm not sure this door wants to open. I'm not gonna push it right now I'm not handing over my other darkness point. I might need that.
Okay.
Well, you
Okay.
don't have darkness points. Those are just, I can, every time you push, I get one, and that can be a dozen times,
Got it.
3 dozen times. Yeah, there's no end to the number I can have. Okay, if you're gonna roll it, Bob, you're gonna be at a -1.
Okay.
It's your call. If you're comfortable, I'm supportive.
your other option is to force the door.
Are
Or-
there?
Now we're talking about my language.
Is there? Well, does the door seem to be something that we can fire on, or would it cause a issue that we would have to deal with basically reflective and such?
I guess I didn't.
Basically, do we have explosives that we can put on the door to
No.
open it?
No.
I don't think
No.
we have any explosives.
Yeah,
Do we
you're
have a
not a. You're,
crowbar?
remember, you're not a military vessel either. You're just you're some guys that usually haul freight from one end of the galaxy to the other, kind of thing. And this is just a job that came up, something special because you were in the area, so you thought you'd come check it out. Because again,
Well, you never
they
know.
flash.
We could improvise. So
Well,
I'm
now,
just-
yeah, you
I'm
could
just
probably
pushing it.
improvise something. You could probably improvise.
MacGyver, I've got gum and a aluminum foil wrapper.
I mean, if you've got those things, you've got it made. You're definitely going to make a bomb. All right,
Next
so
time we get salvage on one of those asteroid freighters, we should definitely take some of their explosives that they use for those and keep them.
all right,
I'm
so
all for that.
you're
That's
able to get that
fun.
open. In here, it's really, really thick.
Don't think that's a coincidence.
So let's proceed with caution.
Okay, I've got to switch headsets real quick, but you guys can kind of start moving into the next room if you want.
Being the captain, I'm not going to be in the front, but I'm not going to be in the back. I will be in the middle. That's where I'm expected to be.
That's fine, Captain. I'll take point.
I'll be right behind you.
The doctor. I'm like, okay, I can be the doctor, but okay, I'm the captain too. So
To be fair, I kind of thought I was going to be the captain with the description that I had.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
Yeah, you're doing fine. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I didn't mean anything by that. I'm just surprised too.
you're being good and cautious. All right, so
well,
you
it's
can,
all about my crew. You know, I gotta protect my crew. So
well, they're the ones that help you make that money. That's for sure. Again, pretty thick in here.
machete's coming in handy. That's
Uh,
an hour well spent for us.
So, how much are you hacking away at this stuff?
We're
Well, I would
basically
think
making a path for us to get through, but we're not like going extreme.
Okay, all right. All right, so you are in the lab here now. You kind of see, you can see where there's containers. Let me get to the. I want to give this the right description here for you. Make sure. Yeah, here it's actually hanging down from the roof in here. You can
By
see
the way,
where
if I have a weapon, I do have it out just in case.
Okay. Anybody else have their weapon out? I know that our pilot does, and our Legionnaire. Anybody else have a weapon out?
Yeah, whatever a power sledge is, I have it out.
Okay. So,
We're in the highest alert, so that's what I'm going to order, that everybody be alert. So
you see kind of row upon row of capsules and ceramic glass that line the walls, and inside them you see long dead plants of all kinds. Some of the capsules are broken with the dark vines coming out of them. I'm sorry, reaching inside of them. The dark vines are actually reaching inside those glasses like spindly fingers, it says. And then the growth is kind of everywhere. It covers the floor, climbs up the walls, and hangs down from the roof. So yeah, it's thick in here, super thick.
Are there any computers or data pads or anything that I might be able to
This
look at?
computer right here has a cursor blinking.
Boss, can I take a look? And
Yeah.
I'll point at the computer.
Be cautious. We will come as a group with you to cover you. So let's move as a unit.
Understood.
Okay.
And we're here.
Yep. It's a data gen roll.
Limited success.
That's all you needed. Oh, and by the way, you noticed there is a key card slot for this also.
All right.
Use your key.
I will hand the key card over to him.
He doesn't seem to need it. He's got it pulled up. Basically, there's one.
Maybe it'll give us an additional access. Who knows?
You're looking through, and you can see where there used to be a massive file database here, but most of it's corrupted. You kind of work your magic, and you're able to get up what appears to be one like email message, what would be the equivalent of an email message, and it says,
Right.
"To the esteemed Royal Chief Scientist Juanina Adala, from the Honorable Royal Minister for Agricultural Affairs. The Emir is not pleased with the effort of your team. He asks you to remember that this is a holy mission. Oh my gosh, that's hard to say. He asked you to remember that this is a holy mission ordained by the icons themselves, and that the Emir expects to see some real results soon. The future of the people of the Emirate is at stake. If you fail, history will not be kind. May the icons bless your work."
So these plants have a hierarchy. Yay! Okay. Is there any other
It sounds
files
like,
or data
well,
or anything that we can pull up from this terminal?
I'm afraid not, but that letter definitely sounds like they were doing some sort of research here for some pretty important people from back in the day.
Mm-hmm. At this point, I'm looking at the plants that are here, and it's like, great, someone was messing with the corn. As I poke some of the plants with my gun, see
Is
if they do.
there tracks or anything? This looks like the plant growth is a little less in certain areas. I'm trying to determine if there's like
So imagine
tracks or anything like that. The professor might have been here recently.
Yeah. So first of all, imagine that all of this is covered in this greenery, as thick as it is over here. Okay. It's not the map is not open like this. In this room,
Okay.
it's thick. And
So we're macheting it through to get to anything.
well,
Okay.
no, you're able to walk. It's like along the ground. It's like walking on a moss field, a moss covered area where there's some overgrowth vines that you have to kind of make sure you're picking your feet up so you don't get tangled up in them. And then it's up the walls like the vines of a vineyard, and then it's hanging down from the ceilings. I don't know if you've ever seen hanging flowers and stuff where
So
it's
it's
kind of
like
grows
ivy
down.
kind of thing,
Like
on
an
the wall?
ivy, yeah, off the ceiling and up the walls. It's not like it's jungle where you're like having to hack your way through to get somewhere. It's just grown along the floor, up the walls, and in some cases hangs down from the ceiling. And you kind of have to push vines and ivy out of your way to get through.
What's the orange spot on the floor?
Again, this is just a map that I found that had some growth, showing.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
All
not
right.
specific to this scenario.
So
In here, it is really thick, and you can kind of see what looks like some canisters. And it is a little thicker in here. It's probably knee deep in here.
The canisters.
Well, the
Are
canisters
there
are.
any markers or are there any markings or anything on them to indicate what the canisters are?
Make an observation roll.
You'll have to tell me.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'll remember that sooner or later. Your
Eventually,
observation
that's okay.
is the 66. Might jot that down so you've got it. Yeah. That way I don't have to look so silly in front of everybody when I forget.
I lost my chat thing. Okay, let's see if I can figure out how to get my chat back. Either that or let's see, can I do it through the advanced dice roller?
If you want to.
66.
Yeah. There you go.
Did that do it?
Yep, you got 2d6. Or 2 6-side. Or 2. Gosh, I'll spit it out. You got 2 successes, so limited success. That's a good one. Yeah, so you're looking at these canisters here, and you can see where the growth has, in some cases, it looked like there was some other plant maybe in there, and it had some sort of label of a plant name, and this growth has actually gone into the canister, and looks like it maybe had, intertwined with those plants in those canisters. Other ones, you see the growth has popped out of them, and then some of them, you can see, what looks to be like, mummified or desiccated plants in some of them that haven't been broken open, but it's the plant that's in there is desiccated.
So the plants that are desiccated by the canisters, how bulky or anything are they? Is that something we can bring with us?
Yeah, they're the size of a person. Those canisters in there. Now,
and is there a way
some...
for us to open this canister and be able to release the gas or liquid inside to be able to clear out an area of plant if we need to?
I mean, you can try opening it up and see if it clears an area out, but it's not exactly.
I mean, we got the machete, so worst comes to worst, we hack the
these canisters don't
thing off of it. So
they don't really have a gas in them. It's just there was a plant that was stored in a
it's a plant stored inside of it. So okay.
Yeah, and then some of them are broken open where the plant has grown out. Some are broken where the plant has grown in. So
there's nothing per se in the canister other than the plant. So it was an experiment.
It looks like they were collecting plants. I mean, this looks like they were collecting some, and then some of it, basically the growth grew out. This blue purple vine has grown out of control in here.
Okay, so there's not really anything in the canisters other than plants that they were doing experiments on. So it's not like we would be able to take anything with us to control the plant growth. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Never mind. Okay. So outside of the lab, are there any other areas that we think the professor may be occupying?
Well, you've got
he could be anywhere.
Med Bay that you haven't gone to. The med lab. You've been to the engineering section. Yeah, you haven't been to the living quarters yet.
Let's try the med lab next. I'm thinking Professor Labs. That's my
Maybe we should check that the rooms next to that conference room before we leave here. Just double check everything here.
May as well. I mean, we're right here, so that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, you guys gonna head that way?
Yes.
Heading that way now.
Okay. So, what you see standing before you there is basically kind of imagine Swamp Thing ish looking. How do you make the icon big again? What is that again? Josh? Shift L? No.
No, it's Shift Z.
Shift Z. Gotta be on it.
Ooh.
And it
Pixel's missing something.
spots you and starts to run. And depending on how you want to act at this point, we'll either go into initiative or we won't. So what is your response to that?
Is there a door between us and it?
No, the doors were opened. You guys opened the airlock doors. You can close your door.
Let's close the door.
You're going to try to close it in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a data gen roll.
I give our pilot, who's got the best.
Okay. The doors slide shut and you've got this thing captured in here.
Now
Looking
what,
at
boss?
our looking at our data things, is there a way around this room that we can get to where we want to go?
No. There's one way and one way only, and that's through the decon. Unless you want to try to hack your way through a wall.
And unfortunately, we don't have any plastic explosives, so.
This thing comes and throws itself against this window and the door, and it's banging on the window, making an awful noise.
Can I observe it for a little bit? See if it's like just made exclusively of plant or if there's something more to it?
Yeah, make an observation roll.
We don't have fire, but we have cold.
So while this thing is banging on the door, you notice that kind of as you're looking at it, it's like I say, it kind of looks like the Swamp Thing, but you see material interwoven with the vines, if that makes sense, and it looks like possibly the remnant of a uniform.
Well, I think we figured out what happened to the station's personnel, if that's a uniform. Point that out to everyone else.
If it's not part of the crew with the
Shamsa,
food we're looking for.
this doesn't appear to be quite as new a uniform.
What? Yeah. The microphone's
Would,
not working.
would I be able to take my power sledge and bust through a wall with it?
Yeah, probably so.
If that's okay with everybody, I think I'm gonna try to create a door.
Let's all of us focus our fire and be ready for it. So, I
think
mean,
punching a
if-
hole in a secure lab on a station that's clearly got some kind of plant zombie thing happening to crew members is probably not a great idea. But I'll go with whatever you say, boss.
thinking we don't have a whole lot of choice at this point. So if we focus everything on it, we stand the best chance of leveling it. So let's focus and do the best we can, and if we need to, we will fall back. We will go back to the lab and regroup, and eventually go back to the airlock. So let's be prepared. I want everybody to get out of this alive. Sound like a plan?
Always.
You don't gotta tell me to shoot something twice.
All right, let's do this.
Okay. Let's see what you roll with it.
The supposedly random dice of computers be with us. You'll have to let me know what I need to roll, though.
Oh, what are you doing? Are you shooting the wall?
When we get the wall open, I am going to shoot the creature.
Oh, you're going to break the wall here? All you got to do is
Well-
open the door.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
if
So
you
it
want
sounds like we're going to open the door and we're going to fire at it
You're gonna-
combined so we can concentrate everything on it to have the most likely chance of success.
Okay, I thought
I thought we were going through a
the
door,
wall-
through a wall like there too, but no,
Yeah.
she wants to. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were
Open
going
the
to
door, murder the creature. Makes more sense.
Yeah, I thought we were busting through the wall here. So I guess I need to be clear what's happening.
Let's not reinvent a door.
Okay, so we're worried about compromising the lab, so we're going to open the door and deal with the creature that's there.
Yes.
Okay. So I am going to say everybody go initiative. Roll your initiative. And let's see, that is just basically rolling a D10. Because I don't think they've got an initiative roll on the character sheet. Yeah. And by the way, the modifiers are at the top of your character sheet, where you can put a negative or a positive to your roll. We were trying to figure that out. It's there's a box at the top for that.
I'm hoping I'm rolling the correct thing, so
A D10.
yes.
Ooh, that sucks for me.
Crap, I can't.
You rolled a
shit.
yeah, you rolled a 2D10, then a 3D10, and
Sorry.
that's all right. We're gonna take the first one, which is a 10. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
My chat is not coming back for some reason, so.
Okay. Let's see.
Roll 20 is not being cooperative tonight, so we'll improvise.
Where's the initiative button on this sheet?
There isn't one. Just roll a D10. Okay, I think I've got everybody on there. I need to roll one for this one.
beastie.
Roll again. I think I'm going to put initiative cards on here, and that way there can't be duplicates. There we go.
Do we add agility to that? As
Nope,
per
it's
usual?
strict roll. You roll until you get. How do we get a 12 there? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I added my agility. So
Zebo, what'd you roll?
I got a 9.
Oh, you got a 9 also? Okay. I got to re-roll that. You got a 10, and... All right. So, Captain, you go first. The door... Or, well, I guess...
Perfect.
You don't have to roll a data gen anymore. You can just open the door. And, Captain, you can go first. And, oh, I've got to issue you action points. This is a little different than what some of us are used to here. Deal. All players. There we go. Deal. All right. So you get 3 action points. And those action points, if you look in your journal over here, there's a action point table in the charts, I think it is. Let's see, rules and regulations. There it is.
I have an action point, but it says remove, so I'm kind of...
Yeah, I just issued you tokens, 3 tokens. And so slow action is 3, takes all 3 action points. That's firing an aim shot, firing full auto, administering first aid, tinkering with a gadget, activating a mystical power if you had that. Normal actions take 2 action points. That's attacking in close combat, firing a normal shot, reloading a weapon, ramming with a vehicle. And then fast actions are sprinting a short distance, taking cover, hitting the ground, getting up off the ground, drawing a weapon, picking up an item, parrying in close combat, making an attack roll, and so on. So you should be able to scroll through that, making a quick shot. And then free actions are using your armor, defending in an opposed roll, or shouting a quick command. Okay?
All right.
And you should be able to see that action table under rules and regulations. So, do you want to fire first? Or what would you like to do, Captain?
Unfortunately, the action tables is not coming up, but if I understand correctly, I'm going to ensure that I support my team as the doctor and the captain, so I will make sure that I reserve at least those 2 points, so that limits me to 1 point, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yep, you can do a quick shot if you want with that.
I will do a quick shot.
So that's going to be, you're going to roll. So you're going to roll 3 dice. Because you're in a -2 for the quick shot.
Okay, so what is that D?
3d6.
I think that's correct.
Okay,
Nope.
you didn't get any successes. Oh, are you gonna?
Sorry.
Did you mean to push that or?
No, not the.
Okay.
I'm not going to push it. I'm going to basically support my team. So.
Okay. Well, you missed with your shot, but that's okay. You've got 2 action points that you're holding. Okay.
Yep.
Next is Zebo.
I'm going to try to smite this thing with my power sledge.
Okay. That would be. I think it's going to be a melee.
Yep, that is a melee weapon.
Yep.
Which means that you got to get in melee range.
Yep. You're going to have to move in and say hi. How are you?
Alright. Yeah, so the move and the melee attack will burn my 3 points, I believe.
Correct. So you'll spend off your 3.
Alright, so is this oh yeah. Melee. Alright, let's see what happens. Nice.
Critical success. So
Nice.
that is going to be a sledge does 4 points of damage. All right, so that means you got, let's see, does it tell me? You got 3 6s, okay? Okay, so you can't quite spend up enough to get a critical on it. So you can add that to damage if you want. Your crit, your crit number is a 3, so you would have had to have the success for the hit plus 3 additional 6s to spend on a critical.
Ah, okay.
But so
Okay.
you can basically do 6 points of damage if you want.
Yeah, I'll take the extra damage for 100, Alex.
You suck.
But I'm consistent.
Yeah, you still suck.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're not
And
afraid.
there's still more attacks to come, so we might completely and totally ruin our DM's.
You're not fun. Not fun at all.
No, we're lots of fun. That's the point.
I'm resisting the urge to make some very interesting jokes.
Okay, so you smash this thing, and it is obviously hurt. I mean, it is.
You do the Thor move.
Yeah, It's obviously injured well. Nima, your turn.
Cool. I am going to take a aimed shot with my Vulcan
Ooh,
pistol. So I'm spending all 3
very
AP.
Okay, so grab those AP points, guys, also, and move them off onto the table, so you know you've spent your 3 AP. That's to help us
very
remember where we're at.
nice.
Yeah, I can't spend for some reason. It won't let me. It won't let me take your cards off. I don't get that. Anyway,
All right. So would I just roll my ranged combat in this instance?
no, your weapon should have a bonus as well. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so up at the top of your character sheet, because I don't think the weapons have a roll button. So whatever the bonus is, add a +1 on the modifiers up there, and then roll your ranged combat.
All right. Am I getting a bonus for an aimed shot?
Yep, that's what I was just looking up because I remembered you were going to do that. So let's see here. Why do they not put that kind of stuff on the DM screen? I don't understand that. Give me a hot minute.
This is why we are testing this for them. This is why we are here.
It's the range.
This is the stuff the programmers love. Footnote.
A +2. So you're a total of +3. Man.
Very nice.
So put 3 in the positive up in the modifiers.
And then roll my ranged combat.
Yep.
Which has already got a 2. And it based off my agility. This is gonna be good. Oh.
Don't count the chickens before they hatch. But let's see what we get.
Okay, so I'm going to spend a darkness point.
Oh no.
And your gun jam.
Someone is feeling
your gun jams. And the shot doesn't go off.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I assume that is what they are here for.
Exactly. All right, Roya.
And it's probably not a quick action to clear my jam.
How does the refresh work on our AP?
The refresh.
It's a little guy roll.
You mean how do you get rid of them?
No, like between turns, how do you get more of them? Is it
you
just
get
at the
top of every turn you get 3.
I would like to
and you can't.
I was looking around.
Let me preface something. Okay, I made the little action point tokens because this is different than what we're used to. We're used to you have a quick and a slow action kind of thing. They do action points in this one, and there's different things you can do. So I made little action point tokens so you can easily keep track of how many action points you've spent in a turn. At the top of every turn, you get a new 3 points. You can't save any. You lose what you didn't spend, but you'll get another 3 tokens to spend out onto the table so we know where you're at as far as how many action points you've spent. It's simply a tracking thing to see what you've spent, okay?
Okay.
Yep.
And then I had questions. For the quick shot, what is the modifier for that?
It's a -2.
Okay. Can I make multiple shots in a turn if I have the fully automatic?
Yes, but that takes a full 3 action points.
Oh, so like taking 2 shots in a turn would take all 3 of my actions.
Multiple shots is considered full auto and would be your full 3 points.
And going full auto, do you have to reload then the entire next turn?
Full auto is terribly scary in this game. I mean, shockingly scary. So you roll your base gun. So like, let's say your range combat is, 2 and your agility is 3, so you've got 5 and +1 for the gun. So you roll 6 dice. Doesn't matter if you get a hit or not. You can then start rolling d6s. And as long as you never come up with a 1, every time you roll a 6, that's another base damage from your gun. And you can do that until you come up with a 1. And then when the 1 hits, you're out of ammo.
Sounds like craps.
Yeah. Full auto in this game is simply terrifying. Because there's no
All right.
there's no stress associated with it, nothing like that. You just rock and roll.
All right. Well, I don't
So
want
Marines
to use full
need
auto.
craps, so good.
I don't want to use full auto while my friend here is engaged in melee combat. So I'm not going to do that, but I will keep that in mind. I would like to take an aimed shot at this thing.
Okay. That's a 3-point action point, so go ahead and move your 3 to the table and make your range combat roll with a +2. And then whatever your plus is for the gun, you put that in the box above for your modifiers, and then roll your ranged combat.
How do I move them to the table? Dragging and dropping isn't working.
So you should be able to click on the icons, and then you click on the little points, the little AP token itself, and should drag it to the desktop. If it's not doing that, then don't worry about it. But
all right. Well, I'm
yeah.
using all 3 points for the aimed shot, so.
Okay. Fire away. Don't forget your modifiers. Woo! Oh boy, what's the weapon you're using?
The Legionnaire's carbine.
What's the crit number on that?
2.
All right, so you've got 3 successes. That means you can crit it if you want by spending 2 of those successes.
I would love to crit it.
Of course you would, you dork. Oh,
That's not very nice.
no. Always one in the crowd. Always
At
one.
what point do we really want to be nice to the DM?
12. I would say so. Let's see. We'll check the armor here. What's the base damage of the weapon?
3.
Oh, I actually removed 2. Sadly, I don't think that's going to be enough. Let's see. Nope, I'm good. So, let's see here. Come for a turn. Great. Shot me right between my beady eyes and rang my bell, I guess. All right. Amin is like going to hold their action because it's a little too crowded to get in over there. And he's a lover, not a fighter. I get to do nothing because somebody chose to critical success me and then crit me. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I aimed, please.
And then Dr. Wana, what would you like to do? Oh, that's not even funny with the fruit. Really? I'm a plant, so you're going to smash a watermelon. I got you.
I thought it was appropriate.
I don't
Since
think so.
everybody is perfect, I will just take the wild shot.
All right, just going to take us.
Just to finish the round. Just to finish the round.
Okay, so you're gonna
What is my
use
roll?
so you're gonna use your action before we roll over into the next round.
Yeah, because it'll reset. So.
Yep. So that would be 1. That's gonna be 3d6. to go ahead and do another snapshot. Oh, you got a success that time. What's the base damage on the gun? Do you know what you're using?
Don't know.
You're using that. I can tell you. I can tell you what you got. You have a accelerator pistol. Sounds wicked sick. There it is. That's two points of damage. Okay. 2 points of damage. Let's see how the armor does this time. Nope.
Bum, bum, bum.
Okay. It's still standing. Zebo,
Of course it is.
you gonna want to do something?
Finish it. Finish it, babes.
So, captain's holding her move.
No, the captain. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you're at the top of the round again, Captain. What do you want to? Do you want to shoot again?
Yeah, I'm gonna do just a wild shot to save 2 in case I have to help someone. So
Okay.
I'll do my crazy move.
3d6.
3d6. I hope that's the right roll.
Okay. No successes that time unless you want to re-roll it.
No, I'm not gonna push.
Okay. All right.
I
So
want to give you ammunition.
all right. So, Zebo, it's your turn.
Okay. I think I'll hit it again.
Okay. Okay. Is that? Yeah, that's 2 6s. I assume
You
you're
think
gonna
he
take
feels
that.
a little intimidated there? Are
So
we
that-
bullying him?
So that's a. Let's see. Gosh, what can I do? I have a melee. You know what? I'm gonna try to. Oh no, I can't. I gotta live through this here. That's What do you want to do? Your extra success. That's gonna be 5 points of damage. Is that what you want to give me?
Yeah, let's do the 5 points of damage.
Come on, block all that damage. Of course, not a bit of it. All right. That is going to smash it, and it drops to the floor and appears to be dead.
Do we have a lighter to
Well.
make sure? Let's
Well,
ash
I
this thing.
I suggest we look at the uniform before we torch it.
We can look at
I
the uniform
suggest
and then we torch it.
All right. While they're doing that, I'm gonna clear that failed round from my jammed gun,
Okay.
muttering the entire time.
Yeah, no.
My character walks over to his and is, did you say the prayer?
I
You
look
look
at
like
him
you're
and
not
say,
praying.
it happens
Yes.
to everybody. It happens to everybody.
I swear, I was praying. I've been praying since we came on this dark boat of hell.
We'll get through this. We'll get the professor and we'll move on.
Well, there's 12 icons. I think it's 12 or 13 icons out there. You probably just prayed to the wrong one.
You can't get your weapons to function properly if you say the wrong prayers. You know this. I know you do.
Rub it in. Let me get some salt for you there.
Look,
We're not
the
curing
deckhand
meat.
is my lord. He rules over everything important. So there.
Okay, well, start worshiping the judge, or you can expect more weapon failures.
You can expect to go flying out an airlock if I do anything other than pray to the deckhand.
You're just gonna like do a death roll, send me out into space all by my lonesome. That's cold. That's really cold.
Come
All
on,
right.
guys.
No,
We don't
you'll
need
go
this.
flying out an
Let's
airlock when
go.
I crash the ship.
Come
Oh,
on, we all got our specialties. Let's move on. Okay.
The
we're
brotherly
good.
love, you can feel it. All right. So you've got a dead creature laying in front of you. You've got your gun cleared now. What what do you want to do with this thing?
We're looking at the uniform. We're gonna like search if there's anything on it, and then we're going to torch it.
Okay, so let me do a quick read here to make sure I tell you right. Yeah, so this uniform is from, what did I tell you the name of the station was? The
It was the Royal.
yeah, the
Ambaras IARS 18.
yeah, it's you can as you kind of pick through it and pick the shreds out, you can see it's a uniform for the original space station.
So basically, it's probably one of the original station personnel that have been reconstituted as a plant form. Yay, us.
Yeah, raise your hand if that makes you want to get out of here.
Yeah, well, we gotta
Nima
get
just
this.
kind of raises his hand.
As much as we want to leave, this is kind of lucrative, so I mean,
It's not that I want to leave, it's that I want to live.
What the heck?
Crud.
I mean, if
Everyone
we
check
don't
their
think
O2
we
canisters.
yeah, let's check and make sure we're all solid.
Zeba, that is coming from your suit.
Oh, great.
Do we need
Can
to evacuate?
Can I do something to fix it?
Well, you got to find where you're losing oxygen in first.
Observation.
Yep. Give me a quick observation, and everybody can kind of help. Also, go ahead and make a observation. Oh well, never mind.
Yeah, let's like get the dish soap
So,
out and coat his suit and see where it bubbles.
All right, so it's on your left thigh, the front of your leg. There's a slash.
Take the sucker out.
And you would have, a repair kit in the suit, but it doesn't change the fact that your O2 is now low, and it's requesting you change the canister.
Do I have another canister?
Your oxygen level is low.
No, you don't.
I'm looking at the data pad. Is there listed on the data pad any supplies that we can replenish his O2 canisters on the station?
There might be some in Med Lab.
Let's head there.
I'm not taking this helmet off.
No, keep it on.
Chicken.
We're not going to compromise our crew because the payout is not worth it. But
come on, Doc.
If we can utilize and work together as a team to get the professor out and still retain our integrity as a crew, then it's useful.
He starts growing plants from his ears. You can just weed him like a garden bed, right?
That's probably why the professor is here, but we're not going there.
Okay.
How far is the med lab from where we're at?
It's not.
And for all we know, the professor might be there because it's a lab.
It's not far. I'm going to move you to the other map now.
Maybe we'll be a blind squirrel and get lucky and find a nut. Who knows?
I'm not sure why that says 0G Jim there. Just ignore that. This is the lab. This is actually the lab that is legitimately the map for this also. I think it's a detailed one that they did, but somebody's turned it into a gym. That's funny. I didn't even notice that when I pulled this over. Anyway, yeah, so
No two programmers fix the verbiage.
That's funny. I don't know. Maybe you don't see that.
No, we do see it.
Oh, we see
Okay.
it.
All right.
It kind of looks like a really odd barbell, but okay.
All right. So you see bio beds over here. Okay. And research.
Is there more? I'm going to assume there's plant growth still continuing throughout the entire floor.
Yes, it's not quite as bad in here, but there is growth on the floor in here and stuff.
So we don't have to use a Mercedes. We just have to climb over and through it.
Yeah, I mean this is not tripping you up as bad in here for sure.
Okay. We'll continue on cautiously and see if there's any signs of disturbance in the plant growth that might indicate recent movement in this area. And we will be looking for new canisters to replace the ones for our team that needs it.
Yeah, you're not really seeing any disturbance areas here. Let's see here. This is a large circular room with two raised platforms full of seems to be what medical machinery. Okay, here and here. At the far end of the room, you make out a number of stasis beds, some of which are destroyed, but a few seem intact. You'll notice that there's down this hallway here, you can kind of see there's rubble stacked up, propped up against one of the doors. It's almost like somebody tried to keep something out. That looks kind of fresh.
Being that this is a medical lab, is there supplies and such in here that as a medical doctor I would know I can utilize
so
that I want to grab to take with us?
Well, you can go over here. The most of the medical supplies, like what you're talking about, like gauze and things like that, have deteriorated. But you do find on the wall here where there's an O2 jack, where O2 tubing could be attached and hooked up.
So could I direct him over there to refill his canisters?
Yeah, I mean he's gonna have.
I mean, could all of us top off so that we are completely recharged?
Well, you can try, see if there's enough O2 in there, and it's still going to require a roll because it's not that you're talking about 101-year-old technology trying to hook up to your modern stuff. It's going to require a little finagling.
Well, I'll have him go first because he's the most dire in need, so that's what we're gonna go with.
Okay. So
I'll direct him to go over there.
I need a technology roll from you.
Well, whoever's the best that's going to be able to hook him up.
Okay, so that I see a critical success pop up, did I? Beautiful. So it doesn't even take you that long. You're like, you see some stuff, laying on the ground here, and you kind of pull it around and you attach some other stuff and find a fitting, and you've got it, and you're charging up your suit. And it's going to take about 30 minutes to get him topped off with this type of O2 setup here. But
that's fine.
What do you want to do in that 30 minutes while you're waiting on him to top off?
In the 30 minutes, I'm exploring everything in this lab to see what is still useful, what can we take with us, what can we utilize as different aspects, either as a medical or weaponize it and such, or to be able to combat the plant growth or whatever that we're encountering that might incapacitate in any form or something like that. So
okay,
I mean,
so
being a doctor, I would have some herbology. I mean, not to the extent that a herbologist would, but at least basics.
Okay, where are you looking specifically? And
wherever
anybody helping her?
Medical cabinets are.
So you got tables here, okay?
Are there
And there's
medical cabinets or anything like that?
cabinets are over here, looks like.
I'm there.
Okay. Looks like this was ransacked a long time ago.
Okay, so I've just determined that all the medical cabinets have been ransacked. Anything in the tables?
Again, looks pretty ransacked. You know, you might find it's pretty well ransacked. There's not going to be much useful here as on the tables.
What?
I'm gonna stay by the door that we came in and basically keep looking down the hallway on Overwatch while everyone else pillages this place.
Okay. Okay, where else you going to look in here?
Okay. So I looked through the cabinets and I looked through the tables. Are there any other areas that have supplies at all?
Well, you've just got these bio beds. You know, these.
I'm looking at the beds. I mean, at this point, I'm looking everywhere just in case there's something that's left lying there or something that we might be able to utilize.
Okay, so you're looking in the viewport of these bio beds, and you get to this last one over here, and you see this right here looking back at you right here.
Oh, good. There's someone in there.
And they look terrified.
I'm looking at the bio.
They
I'm
look
looking at the bio bed. Are they still alive?
Yes, and they look terrified.
Hmm. I call the team over. We've got a life form here. I'm going to open this bed. This may be the professor, may not be, so let's be on guard when I bring him back.
Okay. Well, it's not about bringing him back. He's awake in there.
Well, okay. When I open this up.
Okay.
So let's all
You
be
sure
prepared.
you want to open this up when does he have a suit?
No.
Oh. But is there growth in the area? So there's not really.
It's not thick in here. I mean, you don't find anywhere that doesn't have a bit of growth somewhere. Okay, but it's not.
Is there a suit around the area?
No, there's no suit around here.
Is the bio bed something we can move?
No.
Ah.
Can I put my helmet up to the glass on the bio bed and talk with this guy?
Yeah. You could probably calm in to it some way. I'll allow it to talk. Yeah, you can talk.
Hey there, buddy.
Are you here to rescue me?
That depends on who you are. Yep, we're here to rescue you.
Oh, thank the icons, he says. And he opens up the bio bed from the inside. And
Hey, do you need a suit or anything though?
I don't think so. We haven't used a suit while we've been here, but there's some sort of creatures that are running around, and they're terrifying. We need to leave.
Okay.
Perfect. We're in agreement. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
All right. Let's go the fastest and safest route back to our ship.
Okay.
Bringing the professor with us.
Fantastic. Okay, we're at currently it's 10 o'clock here.
Yep.
We got about an hour. We got started an hour late here. I do have to work in the morning. I get up at 4, so this is a good stopping point for us. Hope you guys had a good time so far. The system's a little different than what Josh, Bob, and I usually play, but I like some of the nuances of it so far.
And hopefully I've been a good captain.
Well, like he said, all your people are still alive, so that's a good thing. I really, at one point, I thought she's going to be so cautious. We're not going to have all the crew out on the ship. But
I just wanted to check it out before we like completely and totally went like commando. So
anyway,
I mean, we're not commandos. We're mostly civilians.
yeah,
now.
you're not. You're space truckers in aliens terms.
I mean, I'm a commando, but we'll set that to the side for now.
we're
Former.
cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, you guys might all make it out of here.
That's my plan.
All we got to do is make sure not to give you enough darkness points to just go rocks fall, everybody dies.
Well, that is a bummer because since we're going into another
He's got
session,
a couple of them. I know he's got a couple.
I'm going to get another darkness point at the start of the game. So, and I do get to save mine.
Mm.
So,
Uh-oh.
anyway,
There
All
goes
right.
the snark.
okay. Well, again, thanks everybody for playing. I'm going to sign us off of the game here. Thanks for joining us for Dark Flowers, Coriolis, RPG. Hope you enjoyed our little episode here, and we'll finish up next Monday. And hope to see you all there. Thanks for joining us on Mortis G's RPGs, Coriolis, Dark Flowers.